All right, hi everybody. Welcome back. This is Bruce from the Epic Experiment Podcast with a quick deck tech here. We're trying to keep this into 5 minutes tops, so you guys can get a whole handle on Belbe Corrupted Observer. This was the deck we previewed on our show this week. So Belbe is a pretty neat commander. For 2 mana, you get a 2/2 legendary creature zombie elf, and this one's kind of neat because of this ability here. Check this one out. At the beginning of each player's post combat main phase. That player adds 2 colorless mana for each of your opponents who lost life this turn. Now, what that means is that on our turn, so if I can on my combat stage or for my first combat deal damage to all my opponents, I can get up to 6 colorless mana that I can use towards whatever in my post combat main phase, which is pretty cool. Now it's a double-edged sword, and that your opponents could also utilize this to their advantage as well. However, if you construct your deck in such a way that you're going to be able to get lots of value out of this, then you can pull ahead and secure the win, which is pretty neat. So now, obviously, the trick is going to be with this one. How are you going to be dealing that damage? So some really budget-friendly ways. You got Archer's Parapet. This doesn't look like much, but 1 and a green for a 0/5 defender. 0/5 makes it really hard for your opponents to damage it and for it to kill it. And then for 1 and a black and a tap, each opponent loses 1 life. So very easily on your turn during your first main phase, you can activate this, zap your opponents all for 1, triggering Belbe, and now you're piling on a whole bunch of extra mana that you can then utilize. What else? Basilica Screecher. The extort trigger on this can be a way to activate it. So if you can use it, you can extort the table for 1. Just like that, you triggered Belbe. Pretty cool way to do it. Crypt Gas is another one that's got the same sort of trigger. Endbringer is a way to do it. So Endbringer doesn't get everybody, but you can have it tap Endbringer to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Extra Priest with Endbringer is that you can get it online using Belbe's 6 mana that it produces, because Endbringer is exactly 6 mana for a 5/5. What else have we got here? We've got something like Night Market Lookout is another one. What else have we got? We've got Shepherd of Rot. Now, this doesn't need a whole lot. It taps because it sees itself as a zombie. Gets your opponents for 1. That's all you need. You don't need to go and get a whole lot of extra, like do 5, 10, 15 points with it. You just need 1 to trigger Belbe to get it going. Thrall Parasites, got another one with Extort. What else we got here? We got a couple other. Vicious Conquistador is another one that gets you going. So there's a bunch of different ways you're going to be able to get that damage into the play, then allowing you to trigger Belbe and ramp into the desired effects you're going to want. So some of your big payoffs: you get Artisan of Kozilek, you can get a Baleful Force, you get a Bane of Balagad, Breaker of Armies, Conduit of Ruin, Deceiver Form, Desolation Twin. So you notice you're getting really big Eldrazi, and we're not even talking about the most expensive ones. We're not talking about Ulamog or Emrakul. We're talking about stuff that is reasonably affordable, that's going to keep your budget under control. So as you go, you get a few expensive pieces. Wandering Archaic, because I am personally of the opinion that this is a card that is criminally underplayed, even if it is as popular as it is. That with Belbe, that 6 mana gets you your Wandering Archaic without even a moment of trouble. You've got some ramp. We got a few other pieces in here that are going to be help you get there. Some interaction to get your opponents into and dealt with, so you're not getting wrecked. But honestly, on the whole, the deck hinges around this idea that you're playing things that are going to ping your opponents, dip them, get them for 1, triggering Belbe, and then allowing you to leverage that into casting big scary things to hopefully get the job done. There's lots of other fun things you could do. You could make this deck very expensive if you really wanted to. I think Belbe could be constructed in such a way that you could find this being a borderline competitive EDH deck, I think, or at least a high power deck. But us keeping it a budget, you're looking for a few things. So, this Mask of Avacyn would normally be like Lightning Greaves or something to that effect. Prowler's Hell might be a Whisper Silk Cloak or something. But these are, budget options that you can play that'll still allow you to get good bang for your buck. At $150, this is a pretty good spot to get in, get your deck constructed, get you playing the game and enjoying Magic with your friends. Because that's what it's all about, folks, is getting in and playing with your friends. All right, so that's the deck. It looks pretty fun. I'm in the process of assembling the pieces for my very own Belbe. It's right here. So, but if you're interested, check out this week's show. Send us a message. Let us know that you're interested in Belbe, and let's have a chat. Let's brainstorm. Well, how can we make this deck as budget friendly as we can, but pack some serious stank that's going to keep our opponents on their toes and really wondering what's coming out of our deck next. All right, everybody. Thanks very much. That was a quick deck tech. Catch you next time on the Epic Experiment Podcast.